Hey y'all, welcome to the Talk of Fame podcast. I'm Kylie Manzigny, your host for today. For this episode, I am welcoming Billy Pinckney. Billy's a 21-year-old digital content creator and author from Little Falls, New Jersey. Billy's passion for the game of baseball was prevent at a young age when he became a batboy for New Jersey Jackals independent team in 2013 at age 11. Billy spent his summers in a professional clubhouse and he learned to intricacies in the game. He began to interview players in 2015 and was hired by the organization as a press box and player procurement assistant. In 2018, in 2019, he assisted the field manager in assembling a league championship winning squad. And also in 2022, he was named the director of digital content, in which Billy's always had a passion for growing the game of baseball and finding ways to assist the younger generation in sports. And so in 2023, he published his book Passion Prevails to help youth players navigate their careers as they face adversity. He recently graduated from Montclair State University with a degree in sports communications. I have honestly been following Billy's work for over a year in his baseball content interviews are seriously awesome. As someone who's literally a diehard sports fan, especially baseball, I literally love all the content you're making. So I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and what an intro. I love that.
I know that's very long, but it could be longer.
There we go.
But like, of course, at age 11, you kind of got into the sports journey, especially baseball. Like, what did your baseball journey kind of look like when you're 11 years old?
Yeah, I was just a typical fan. I was a typical kid growing up, playing the game, loved being around it. It was my favorite sport. And
Mhm.
then when I realized that there was a team that played professional baseball right next door, 10 minutes down the road from my house, that there was an opportunity there to get involved with it, I jumped at the opportunity. And I was so excited to find out that I can become a bat boy and just be in the dugout every day and in the clubhouse with the players. That's a dream for a young kid. And it didn't matter that it wasn't the big leagues or not the New York Yankees, but there were still professionals there. There were guys who played at the highest level and played in minor league baseball, past college baseball, and I was able to learn a lot from them. You can't beat that kind of experience at the young age of 11. So that was definitely something that I just had to take advantage of, and that really helped me jumpstart my journey in the game.
Yeah, like as someone like who's worked with a minor league team over the last year, like the Yankees minor league team here in the area, I'm just like this. Nothing beats it. Like as someone who loves baseball as much as we do, any experience seriously helps. Like any experience to really get to interact with the players, go see a game for free. Like nothing beats that. And to really kind of get that experience, no matter where your position is always meaningful. And to interact with those players, I got to interact with a ton over the last, last season, and all of them are seriously amazing. Even though I'm not a Yankee fan, no problem with the Yankees fans or the team out there. I still have love for the Yankees. My favorite players on there. Of course, I have love for the Yankees,
Yeah.
but they're not my favorite team ever. But I'll root for them. But any chance, even if it's not the Dodgers team, as many of you know, I'm a Dodger fan, so of course it's not the Dodgers, but it's like as long as it's there's experience out there in meeting the players and getting the knowledge of the game, I'll take it.
Oh yeah. No, that's the best part about it. Just being able to be there and just be a sponge. You're able to soak it up. You're able to be there in person with the players, trying to learn as much as you can, be there, help them out if they have any questions for you. Because even working in media, after I stopped being a bat boy, the players are coming to you as well, and they're asking you questions of, they need this change, they need help with this and that, and you're interacting with them on a human level. So that's really fun, and it's just been a blessing to be able to be a part of that.
100%. Like, who's the person that you met, whether it's a bat boy or interviewing that stuck out to you the most, whether it's like conversations, interviews, or just working for the team? Like, what do you have a conversation or someone you met that kind of sticks out to you?
Oh, there are so many, and I've been so fortunate to meet a lot of great people, whether I was working for the Jackals, the team I batboyed for, or if it was just somebody who I interviewed. So if I had to say a couple people with the Jackals when I was working, man, oh man, oh man, there are so many great people. I'd say a lot of the coaches for sure were a few inspirational figures for me in baseball. Ani Ramos, who was a coach there, and Brooks Carey, Joe Calfapietra, all these coaches there were incredible, just teaching me the right way to do things. And
Mhm.
then you have players who actually went on to make it to the big leagues. Tim Adelman, who played for the Reds, Fernando Cruz, who's now on the Reds right now as a reliever. Those guys, you get to just watch them and then see them succeed at a level of baseball that isn't the highest level. And then all of a sudden they get an opportunity to then play in the big leagues. That's inspirational right there. And just seeing what they said, just to, a little adjustment here, a little adjustment there, and you're all of a sudden a different player and you're able to earn an opportunity. So it's really just never giving up. You focus on the goals that you have and just staying with that process, and great things will happen. And then somebody who I interviewed a couple times, Nick Swisher. I'm sure you know who that is.
Yeah.
Yankees legend. He's the man. Just the energy that he brings. That's what I try to do with my craft and what I do every day. Just bring positive energy to my content and then make sure I have that aura in the studio. Even if I'm just by myself working in here, I still have to have that positive mentality that this is going to impact someone today. This is something that's going to have an impact on people, maybe younger players who are watching, and that's how you have to think of it.
100%, yeah. Because of course, when you're a host of a show, like the most important thing I feel like most people go into each interview or show is that they want to impact younger generation that's really listening to your show. Like every
Yeah.
of course, every podcast is different or show, but it's like if you have a podcast about sports, like not a lot of people really get to hear from players like in MLB or NFL or whatever. So have a show like that and to really kind of learn from different guys is honestly awesome. I know a lot of kids will learn from that. As someone who's literally grew up at a baseball field from playing and being a sister that my brother plays baseball, so I grew up at a baseball field every
Yeah.
day, like 2 minutes down the road from my house. So, but it's like honestly, baseball is honestly big, and of course Pennsylvania, but also New York as well. And like honestly, like if I had to choose one person that I love while working for a minor league team was I don't know if he played for the Yankees like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. His name is Robert Brantley. He played in the majors and like he's like up and down AAA, MLB or whatever.
Yeah.
And during the season, he was with the Blue Jays minor league team, the Buffalo Bisons. He was
Yeah.
at them at the time, and basically he was there the 2022 season with the Red Riders and ended up going to the Bisons. So I knew who he was from my coworkers mentioning him. I was like, I'd never heard of this guy ever, like until my coworkers mentioned them. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
who's this guy? Like, who's this person? So I was surprised I never even heard of him. But I know like most players in the MLB or minor league team. So I'm like, oh, I never heard of this guy before. So who's this guy up to? So the one time over the season, of course, the minor league team, the Red Riders and the Bisons are in the same district or whatever,
Mm.
standings or whatever. And so we play them very often. So when they will come to town, Rob Brantley will come up because our kind of workspaces are very close to each other. And so basically he'll recognize me every single time, be like, yo, what's up? Like he'll be like asking me at the podcast. He's like, when's the podcast happening? Like
Yeah.
it's his general questions.
That's awesome.
The Rays minor league team right now, but it's like
Yeah.
he's one hell of the guy. Like I am like then he got released last season, like in like July during that deadline. So I didn't never seen him again after that. But I was like he's also probably the favorite player that I've met while working for a minor league team. But it's like there's honestly so many players out there. There's one hell of people that's willing to interact with the workers and everything.
Oh yeah. No, Rob actually in particular, he's a great guy. I actually saw him it was down at spring training for the Rays this year.
Oh,
We
really?
briefly, yeah, we actually briefly met a few years ago. I took a few photos at a game he was playing in when he was with the Yankee system, I believe. And then I sent them to him. So he's been following me for a few years. And then all of a sudden I
Really?
see him down there in spring training at their spring training site. And he's like, Billy, and then I don't know if we got a picture. No, no, actually interviewed him. I did a little interview clip with him down there down the line. So that was great to see him. And look, people like that, you meet people, you meet players, and they have an impact on you. Just their energy, maybe a few words of wisdom, they bring you up, they uplift you, and that's what it's all about, really.
I know, like, ever since, like, during the baseball season, me and him will interact, like, here and there, be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, how's the season going? Congrats on going to a race," or whatever, like, small conversation, but it's like, I'm really hoping they come down to the Rare Riders, stadium so I can go see them play, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Rob Brentley is just one hell of a guy. I always wanted to talk to people, no matter if he's busy or not. Like, he is
Right.
that's it's honestly what the game is about, though, like,
Oh yeah.
talking with their fans, because, of course, they wouldn't be as big if it isn't for their fans. So it's really great to see some of those guys really interacting because not every guy's like that.
No, no, definitely not. You have some, I get it. Sometimes people are very focused and really look at the ballpark as their workplace and that's their office and they don't want to be bothered when they're in their office. But there's some who look at it a different way and just are pretty relaxed in most situations and just want to interact with people because we're all humans, right? They respect the job that you're doing. You're working for the team, you've got a job to do, and you're doing that job. And they're also working for the team doing their job. So there's mutual respect there. And I look at everyone being coworkers. Like everyone's, even if you're a player, if you're a coach, or if you're in the front office doing whatever, you're all, even though the players are ones playing and on the field, and a lot of times if you're making it to the big leagues, you're making more money. It doesn't matter. Everyone's on the same playing field.
I know, right? And so, like, did you play baseball when you were younger, or did you kind of just work for a sports team?
Yeah, I did. I played growing up, Little League, high school, and then I played club ball in college at Montclair. So that was fun just to continue to play. So I definitely spent a lot of time playing the game and then trying to learn what I could from the pros and apply it to my game. And then I always enjoyed though working for the team and just being a part of that culture. That was always so fun.
Yeah, any chance you get to work for a sports team or even get to play is honestly the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But like, did you get recruited to go there, or did you kind of like just try to see if you can get on a team, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I really didn't look at baseball because my senior year of high school was COVID. So
Oh yeah.
our whole season was canceled. So I didn't have any baseball senior year except for a couple days of practice. So that was brutal. But I didn't, Montclair's 10 minutes away from my house, and they're actually on the campus is where the Jackals played, the
Oh
team I worked
really?
for. So it was all in the same spot. So it was a pretty easy decision for me to play there. And it was or actually, it was a pretty easy decision to go there. I wasn't planning on playing there. And then I found out that they had a club team. They had a D3 team and then a club team. The club team was more relaxed, more of just, playing because you want to have fun. And it's still competitive, but you don't have as strict of a schedule and a commitment as you would if you played for the D3 team. So I decided, you know what? I'll probably make the club team and I can just play there and then focus on my media work and what I want to do in my career. And that's what I did. So I wasn't recruited there, but I was definitely highly interested because of the different opportunities with what I wanted to do, both career wise. And then I was able to play for a few more years when a lot of my teammates from high school had to hang up the cleats after high school because their season was canceled.
Yeah, like that, like COVID year was honestly rough. I know, like my brother still plays baseball, but during that
Yeah.
time when season was canceled, like everything was like we're not allowed to do anything. Like when baseball
Yeah.
season shut down, we didn't know what we would do with ourselves. Like we're so used to, going to like different games, go like hitting and stuff. And when the season stopped, we didn't know what to do. Like we were like playing baseball in the backyard. Like
Yeah.
that's the only thing we could do because everything was canceled. We couldn't go to practice. We couldn't do nothing. So it's like, of course, I feel horrible for all those seniors that graduated during that point that couldn't play baseball because, of course, you lost on a year they could have had.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And some people, they didn't have a whole season. They made some kids in college had a partial season. They played a few games,
Mhm.
and then they tried to do this thing in high school where they had the summer league thing, and you're able to play a few more games with your teammates for the last time. But it wasn't the same. But it is what it is. And I was lucky actually with the Jackals. They had a kind of like a shortened season where they played against a team that they created. They had like a small league in the area. And they were able to play some games, and I was able to work for them during that time, which was great because I couldn't imagine staying in the house for a few more months
I know,
just
yeah.
sitting there. So just finding ways to still be a part of the game and then get out of the house for some time during that period was huge.
I know, like during that time, like there was very limited things we could do. Well, especially in my area, we didn't have
Huh.
too many things like to
Yeah.
do in terms of baseball that we really, me and my brother would just play in the backyard.
Yeah.
since, we couldn't, or some of our friends were like very kind of, nervous about COVID. So it was just me and him that were playing baseball, me and my dad and him. Or just going to the baseball field down the road from our house and just playing just so we could get out of the house for a couple minutes and then stay home. Because we didn't do that, I honestly probably would have lost my mind and never left the house. Like, besides, it's like I'm not like I can't stay at home for much longer. Like
Yeah.
this is like annoying after a point.
No, I was crazy for sure. And you look at that and you see how sports can help you just get you through life too. You have sports throughout your life, and it's awesome. It's really an awesome experience because through the highs, the lows, the different situations in your life, that's always there. Like sports were always there, whether to play or work for, or be involved with. You could apply it to different areas of your life.
100%. And so, like, what type of like insights have you gotten from industry professionals in baseball from doing your interviews?
Yeah, I'd say especially recently, definitely that your identity shouldn't be just in your sport or in what your job is. Because I feel like a lot of people, they say that they're an athlete and that's who they are as well, not just what they
Mhm.
do. But if you think that you're a baseball player always, or a football player always, or whatever it is, whatever your title is, it's hard to really have that balance and just enjoy life and have other things that are meaningful. So I think that's definitely something that's important, finding different things you like to do. And then also to just be a genuinely good person. Honestly, it sounds simple, but little things like being kind to somebody and asking how they're doing and seeing if they need anything, that goes a long way. And if you're consistent like that and truly want the best for somebody and maybe can help them get to somewhere, people remember that, and then that word spreads as well. And that's really it. Like really those simple things that a lot of people overlook are huge. And that's what a lot of these players have told me, people in the industry have told me, and that's what I take that very seriously, and that's what I try to do all the time.
I love that. Like that's honestly something that's honestly huge. I know, like that's something maybe it's very cliche. You'll hear from a
Yeah.
lot of people, but I know a lot of people that maybe play baseball, or football, rely on their identity for that. Like if they're done playing or or it's the off season, like they're like, what am I doing now since the season's
Yeah.
over? Like
Yeah.
they just don't know what to do with themselves. They just don't know what to do, so they try to find something new, but all they can think about is, let's say, baseball. So it's like, I know for some people, that's the only thing they can think of to do what on their free time is, go to the gym to work out or going to train. Like it's always their whole personality that they
Yep.
can't find something else to do.
Right. Yeah, it's really important to find some other things. And of course you want interests and you have passions that you want to do every day, and that's nice, but at the same time there are other things that are important too. And it's just really finding that. And a lot of times people, they might focus more on one thing and not the other. And I think there are times in your life where there might be more of an imbalance because you're trying to work towards something and you need to spend more time and sacrifice things to focus on something. But you don't really want to be that way your whole life, I don't think, because then that could throw other things off. So I dive a lot into the psychological stuff. I like the mental side, but
Oh, I'm the
that's what I
same
like to
way.
ask
Like
players about.
like that's something that I'm into as well. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, every time I see a player, I'm like, oh, what is he doing mentally? Or like how is
Right.
he mentally handling this situation? It's like it's very hard to really adjust to different situations. Like whatever you're hurt or you can't play or whatever. Like it's hard to adjust that. So it could take months, years to realize that, like, oh, my identity is not just baseball or
Right.
sports. It's like there's many things in the world they can do besides playing baseball. I know that's something a lot of athletes need to realize. And that's something, I'm trying to tell people as well that not everything's about baseball or something. It can be about many things, like spending time with your family or doing another sport that you never thought of giving a try.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
different mortality, but every person takes it differently.
Right. And everybody retires. And I tell young kids this. I don't look at it as a plan B, but no matter what age you are, the best of the best, the big leaguers, they end up retiring by age 35. If you're the best,
Mhm.
maybe 40. That's only a few players. And then you have the rest of your life to live and the rest of your life to do something. So what are your other hobbies and passions? Like what else do you enjoy doing? You could spend time with your family and do things around the house and everything, but are there any other passions that you have that you can spend time with and maybe you get your friends involved with, maybe going golfing or doing other things, other career choices? That's why I always see a lot of players who end up coaching or become analysts, broadcasters, involved with sports media. We've seen a lot of that nowadays with
Mhm.
the increase in social media and technology and everything. A lot of former players are jumping on as broadcasters or creating content. So that's fun to see. But what is it that you enjoy? And a lot of kids should figure that out earlier because they don't know when their career's going to end. You could be one injury away from that being taken away from you. And you don't want to be in a position where you play, just focus on that. And then all of a sudden, one day you find out that that's not going to happen anymore and you have nothing else to do because that'll really mess you up.
It
I don't
really
look at it
will.
as just falling back on something, but I look at it as realizing that, this isn't going to last forever. What else do I enjoy?
It's just a matter of, looking out and see what is something you enjoy. I know my favorite player, Chase Utley, didn't retire until he was like 39 years old. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I know, like, from interviews I've seen, he likes to go to Mexico. I'm just like, let's go to Mexico for a day. Like,
Yeah.
let's go travel because he's from Los Angeles. I'm just like, that's like an hour flight. Like, go ahead. Like, go.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of like really finding what you are. But so if I like, sometimes I'm really focused on maybe doing a podcast or something, like my entire personality. And if it got taken away from me in a matter of like a minute, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life now? Like, what should I do
Hmm.
with myself? Like, it's just a matter of finding other things that you're passionate about besides this specific thing, whether it's, maybe doing social media or, playing baseball. I know a lot of former baseball players are doing media stuff now, which is awesome. I see more by the day. Like it's
Yeah.
really that a lot of players do this. It's in today's world, but it's really awesome to see kind of hear different experiences and stuff from players when you're watching a game.
Yeah. I love to see it. I love to see what the players do when they're retired. You have guys like Eric Hosmer, who was
Mhm.
with the Royals for a while, World Series champion. He's now starting a media company. And then you have other players who have created their own content independently just for their own platforms and then building that up. It's cool to see. And you get to see insights into their career. And then a lot of them are sharing the stories and lessons they learned. And it's great.
It really is. And so to wrap this up, like how can people connect with you on social media if they want to like, contact you and stuff?
Yeah. At Billy the Bat Boy on all social media platforms. My YouTube is Billy the Bat Boy as well, or Billy Pinckney. Either one will get you there. And then all my info's on there. And I have a lot of content with athletes and a lot of it designed to help out youth players. So it's a mixture of stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. And I try to help inspire players and then just entertain them along the way.
That's really awesome. So I really recommend checking out his content, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. I recommend checking out everything. His content's actually awesome. I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you right now, but it's
You'll tell me
true.
something, you'll say something different when I'm out here.
But I really appreciate you, Billy, for coming on today to chat with us. I know we've been going back and forth with things with our schedules, but I really appreciate you coming on and love what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here and keep going.
Thank you so much. You too. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.